Wake up. Listen to me. Wake up. Not just out of your bed, but out of your excuses, out of your laziness, out of your comfort zone. Too many of you are alive, but you're not awake. Too many of you are moving, but you're not grinding. Too many of you are existing, but you're not living. I came to tell you today, your alarm clock is lying to you. You think you wake up when it rings at 7 a.m. No. You wake up the moment you decide to stop hitting snooze on your life. You wake up when you stop delaying your dream. You wake up when you stop saying one day and start saying, day one, let me hit you with some data. Do you know the average person spends more than 2.5 hours a day on social media? That's over 38 days a year wasted scrolling, liking, swiping, watching somebody else's life. That's 38 days. You could have been writing your book. 38 days. You could have been learning a skill. 38 days. You could have been grinding on your business. You're not short on time. You're short on discipline. And don't tell me you don't have the energy. You've got energy for Netflix. You've got energy for gossip. You've got energy for video games. It's not that you're tired. It's that your priorities are out of order. You've got the grind inside you, but you're giving it to the wrong things. Here's the truth. The most dangerous drug in the world is not cocaine, not heroin, not alcohol. It's comfort. Comfort kills more dreams than failure ever will. Comfort whispers, you've done enough. Comfort tells you, you can take it easy. Comfort says, and why push when you can coast? And every time you listen, you shrink a little smaller, you step a little slower, you lose a little more fire. But champions don't live in comfort. Champions don't rest when the work is undone. Champions wake up hungry even when their stomach is full. Think about Kobe Bryant. That man was in the gym at 4 a.m. shooting thousands of shots before practice even started. While everybody else was asleep, he was working on his craft. By the time his teammates woke up, he already had 2 workouts done. That's the grind. Think about Elon Musk. He's building rockets, cars, solar systems, AI, working 100-hour weeks when most people can't even handle 40. You don't have to like him, but you can't deny the grind. Think about J.K. Rowling. She wrote Harry Potter in cafes while broke, rejected, and depressed. She didn't wait for the perfect moment. She woke up and ground out the words anyway. So let me ask you, what's your excuse? Because excuses sound good until you realize they don't pay bills, they don't build dreams, and they don't change lives. Excuses are the language of the broke. Excuses are the lullaby that rocks you back to sleep while your destiny passes you by. You've got to decide right now, are you going to keep hitting snooze on your future, or are you going to wake up and grind? Let me put it like this. If your alarm clock is the loudest voice in your morning, you're doing life wrong. You need a vision that wakes you up before the alarm even rings. You need a dream so big, a calling so loud that it pulls you out of bed. Because if you don't have a reason, the grind will feel like torture. But when you do have a reason, the grind feels like fuel. Some of you wake up because you have to go to work. That's not living. That's surviving. You've got to wake up because you get to chase something bigger than yourself. And here's where it gets real. The grind is not sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not about Instagram posts and highlight reels. The grind is waking up at 5 a.m. when nobody claps for you. The grind is staying late when nobody's watching. The grind is failing 10 times and still showing up on the 11th. The grind is ugly, it's dirty, it's painful, but it's the only way to get to greatness. You want a better body. Wake up and grind. You want financial freedom. Wake up and grind. You want to build a business, a legacy, a life you're proud of. Wake up and grind. And don't get it twisted. Grinding doesn't mean mindless hustle. Grinding means focused, intentional effort toward what matters. Grinding means saying no to distractions. Grinding means outworking yesterday. Grinding means pushing yourself past the limits you thought you had. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, beat your alarm clock. Get up an hour earlier than usual. Use that hour to grind on something that matters. Read, study, write, plan, build, and watch how that one decision starts to shift your whole life. Because success doesn't come to the talented. Success doesn't come to the lucky. Success comes to the ones who wake up and grind day after day, year after year, until what was once impossible becomes inevitable. Stop sleeping on yourself. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop believing the lie that you can coast your way to greatness. Wake up, get up, grind, because the dream you want, the life you imagine, the legacy you crave, it's not waiting for the lazy. It's waiting for the relentless. You woke up, good. But now comes the hard part, grinding, because waking up is only step one. What you do after you open your eyes, that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Let me make this plain. The grind is not just about working hard. It's about how you think while you work. The grind is a mindset, a mentality, a way of life. And until you rewire your brain, you'll keep slipping back into excuses, comfort, and small thinking. Let me give you some perspective. Studies show that 92% of people who set goals every new year never achieve them. 92%. Why? Because they're motivated for a moment, but not committed for a lifetime. They want results, but they don't want the grind. They want the body, but not the sweat. They want the income, but not the late nights. They want the recognition, but not the rejection. Listen carefully, success is rented, and the rent is due every single day. Not once a week, not once a month, every single day. And if you don't wake up ready to pay that rent, life will evict you from your own dream. Now let me break the grind down into principles you can live by. 1, fall in love with boredom. See, you think the grind is about hype. You think it's about energy drinks, loud music, and motivational quotes. Wrong. The grind is about doing the same thing day after day after day until mastery comes. The grind is showing up when it's boring. The grind is writing 500 words a day, even when you don't feel creative. The grind is running those miles, even when you hate cardio. The grind is making those sales calls, even when everyone says no. Champions don't get addicted to excitement. They get addicted to discipline. 2, stop counting hours, start counting impact. Too many of you brag about how long you worked. I put in 12 hours today, but let me ask you, what did you produce? Because a grind isn't about looking busy. It's about results. Don't tell me about your hours. Show me your outcomes. Don't tell me about your schedule. Show me your scorecard. Don't tell me you're grinding if you've got nothing to show for it. 3, outlast your feelings. Your feelings are the enemy of your future. Your feelings will tell you to stay in bed. Your feelings will tell you to quit. Your feelings will tell you, I don't feel like it today. But listen, your future doesn't care how you feel. Your destiny doesn't wait for your mood to be right. The grind is doing it whether you feel like it or not. The grind is showing up tired, broken, frustrated, and still giving 100% for Break it down daily. Some of you are overwhelmed because your dream looks too big. You're staring at the mountain and it feels impossible to climb. That's why you've got to break it into daily steps. Don't think about writing a whole book. Think about writing one page today. Don't think about losing 50 pounds. Think about eating clean today. Don't think about making $1 million. Think about making the next sale today. Small wins stack up into big victories. 5, protect your grind. Let me be real with you. Your grind will be tested. Your friends will tempt you to waste time. Your family might not understand your hustle. Social media will distract you with everybody else's highlight reel. That's why you've got to guard your focus like it's gold. Because it is. If the grind is your engine, focus is your fuel. Without it, you stall. Now let me interrupt your thinking for a second. You keep saying you don't have time. You've got time. The problem is you're wasting it. Let's do the math. There are 168 hours in a week. If you sleep 8 hours a night, that's 56 gone. Let's say you work 40 hours at your job. That's 96. You still have 72 hours left. What are you doing with those 72 hours? Don't tell me you don't have time. You have time. You just don't have priorities. Do you know how many hours the average American spends watching TV per week? Over 20 hours. Do you know how many hours people spend on their phones? More than 4 hours a day. That's 28 hours a week. That's 48 hours gone between TV and phones. Imagine if you took half of that time and poured it into your dream. Imagine if you cut just 14 hours a week and used it to grind. Do you know what you could build in a year? But instead, you're letting distraction rob you. You're letting entertainment steal your legacy. You're letting comfort keep you small. The grind mindset says every hour is an opportunity. Every day is a classroom. Every moment is a seed. You don't waste it. You work it. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but E.T., what if I grind and still fail? Let me free you. Failure is part of the grind. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the process of success. Nobody wins without losing first. Nobody succeeds without setbacks. Walt Disney went bankrupt. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for TV. Colonel Sanders heard 1 sour and 9 no's before someone bought his chicken recipe. If they had quit, we wouldn't know their names today. Failure is feedback. Failure is tuition. Failure is the price you pay for wisdom. The grind mindset doesn't run from failure. It learns from it. And here's the last piece. You've got to grind for something bigger than yourself. If the grind is only about money, you'll quit when it gets hard. If the grind is only about fame, you'll quit when the spotlight fades. But if the grind is about purpose, about family, about legacy, then nothing can stop you. When I was homeless, I didn't grind just for me. I grinded for the future. I grinded for the people counting on me. I grinded because I refused to let my story end in the gutter. That's why I can look you in the eye today and say the grind works, because I lived it. So here's my challenge to you for the next 30 days. Live like your future depends on your grind, because it does. Wake up earlier. Cut the distractions. Put in focused hours every single day. Track your progress. Push past your feelings and do not quit. If you do this, you will see change. You will see momentum. You will see results. Maybe not overnight, maybe not in a week. But if you stay in the grind, if you refuse to give up, your harvest will come. Wake up, grind, repeat. That's the formula. Not sexy, not glamorous, but guaranteed. Because greatness doesn't belong to the talented. It belongs to the disciplined. It belongs to the relentless. It belongs to the grinders. You've heard me talk about waking up. You've heard me break down the grind. But now we need to talk about what happens when you stay consistent long enough, when you keep pressing, keep grinding, and refuse to quit. That's when you experience breakthrough. And once you get the breakthrough, you don't just stop there. You take that breakthrough and turn it into legacy. Let me be clear, breakthrough is not a random accident. It's not luck. It's not something that just happens to chosen people. Breakthrough is the natural harvest of consistent, focused, relentless grind. The farmer doesn't wake up shocked when the crops grow. He knew they were coming because he planted the seeds. That's what your grind is. It's planting seeds every single day. And when the season comes, breakthrough is the harvest. But here's the catch. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. You've probably heard the story of the man who dug for diamonds. He worked hard day after day, but after years of no results, he gave up. He sold his land. The new owner picked up the same shovel, kept digging in the same spot, and within just a few feet, he hit diamonds. That's how life works. Some of you are inches away from your breakthrough, but you're talking about quitting. You've been grinding in your business, but sales aren't moving fast enough, so you're discouraged. You've been studying for your exams, but you keep failing practice tests, so you're ready to drop out. You've been working on your craft, but nobody is clapping yet, so you're doubting yourself. Listen to me. Don't stop now. Don't throw away all that labor. Don't let your future slip because your present feels heavy. Breakthrough is coming, but only if you keep grinding. Here's what happens at breakthrough 1. Breakthrough rewrites your story. One moment of breakthrough can redeem years of struggle. The day you get hired for that dream job erases the pain of 100 rejections. The day your business turns profitable makes all those sleepless nights worth it. The day your book gets published makes all those quiet hours writing alone worth it. When breakthrough comes, it validates the grind. 2, breakthrough attracts opportunities. When you hit a breakthrough, the world starts to notice. Doors open that used to be shut. People who ignored you before suddenly want to connect. Opportunities multiply, not because you're lucky, but because your grind created momentum. Success has a way of creating more success. 3, breakthrough inspires others. This is where it gets powerful. Your breakthrough isn't just for you. It's for the people watching you. Somebody out there is struggling right now, and your victory will give them hope. Somebody is thinking about quitting, and your story will give them courage. Somebody is living in darkness, and your breakthrough will be the light they need. But here's the thing, breakthrough is not the end game if all you do is breakthrough, but you don't build a legacy. Then your success dies with you. And I don't know about you, but I'm not grinding just to die rich. I'm grinding to live remembered. Legacy is when your name outlives your body. Legacy is when your work continues long after you're gone. Legacy is when your children, your community, your generation are changed because of how you lived. See, money is good. Cars, houses, status, those things are fine, but you can't take them with you. Nobody at your funeral will care about how many followers you had. Nobody will care what kind of shoes you wore. They'll care about how you made them feel. They'll care about what you built that lasted. They'll care about the lives you touched. Let me give you a few examples. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just grind for himself. He built a legacy. That's why decades later, his words are still shaping nations. Mother Teresa didn't grind for fame. She built a legacy of compassion that lives on. Kobe Bryant didn't just play basketball. He built a legacy of excellence, discipline, and Mamba mentality. So here's my question. What will your legacy be? If you grind only for the paycheck, your legacy will end when the money ends. If you grind only for clout, your legacy will end when the trend shifts. But if you grind for impact, if you grind for purpose, if you grind for legacy, then your name will echo long after you're now. Let's get practical. How do you turn grind into legacy? 1, define your why. If you don't know why you're grinding, you'll get lost. Your why has to be bigger than you. Maybe your why is to give your family a life they never had. Maybe it's to create opportunities for your community. Maybe it's to build something that generations after you can benefit from. Define your why, write it down, and look at it every day. 2, mentor and multiply. Legacy is not just about what you achieve, but about who you raise up. If your success dies with you, it wasn't legacy. It was just achievement. Teach others what you know. Mentor people who are a few steps behind you. Share your grind, not just your glory. That's how legacy multiplies. 3, build systems, not just moments. If everything you're doing depends only on your hustle, it will collapse when you stop. Build systems that keep running even when you're not there. Businesses, organizations, movements, books, courses. These are systems that outlive your daily grind for life with integrity. Listen carefully. Your grind might get you to the top, but only your character will keep you there. Don't build a legacy of lies. Don't grind your way to success only to lose it all because of pride or lack of integrity. Real legacy is built on trust, respect, and consistency. And let me remind you, legacy doesn't have to be massive to matter. You don't need 1 million followers to build legacy. If you raise your kids with love and discipline, that's legacy. If you change one life through your example, that's legacy. If you create something that inspires just a handful of people, that's legacy. You don't have to be famous. You just have to be faithful. So let me tie this whole thing together. Wake up. Stop sleeping on your destiny. Get up earlier. Take your life seriously. Grind day in, day out. Discipline over feelings. Focus over distractions. Results over excuses. Breakthrough. Trust that your consistency will pay off. Refuse to quit before the harvest. Legacy. Don't stop at success. Pass it on. Multiply it. Make it last. This is the cycle of greatness. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary. This is how you move from surviving to thriving, from existing to living, from being forgotten to being remembered. Some of you are one decision away from changing your whole life. One decision to wake up earlier. One decision to cut the excuses. One decision to grind with everything you've got. And if you make that decision today, your future will thank you. I'll leave you with this. One day, your story will be told. One day, people will sit around and talk about the life you lived. My question is, what do you want them to say? Do you want them to say, he had potential, but he never used it? Do you want them to say, she had dreams, but she gave up? Or do you want them to say, that person woke up, they grinded, they broke through, and they left a legacy that inspired generations? The choice is yours. So stop waiting. Stop wishing. Wake up. Grind. Breakthrough. Leave your legacy, because your time is now.